Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my ongoing review series of The Legend of Korra. And we have a little bit of a mix-up here this time around, because I'm reviewing Episode 8 after I've already done a review for Episode 9. Of course, the reason for this, as I've stated before, is because, well, when this came on the air, I had to go to a civil service exam. So I was unable to catch it. And I would have had this up sooner, but I, of course, for some reason, while searching for the episode online, the thing that did not come up first, or even in like the top 5 on my search bar, or my search window, was Nickelodeon's main site. I don't know why. I probably should have just automatically checked there. But regardless, I've caught it. And by the way, whatever player Nickelodeon uses on its site, media player, absolutely sucks. But that's for a different review. We're here to talk about When Extremes Meet, Episode 8. Basically, we're seeing... It's tough watching this, having already seen Episode 9, because 8 and 9 are kind of complementary to each other. They kind of tell one mini-arc, and that is, of course, Tarlok. Here we kind of really get to see Tarlok is a big bad, and we kind of see him falling into the extreme, as I mentioned, that we had talked about is there some claim to the Equalists? And in Tarlok we see, yes, there is some legitimacy to the Equalists' claims. He passes a law. Now, the first 2 parts of this law, the stupidity strikes me as, okay, first, they want to ban, you can't be a member of the Equalists or an associate or supporter of the Equalists. Make that illegal. Why isn't that already illegal? Seriously. You have an active terrorist organization, and you're just now getting to making it illegal to be part of the Equalists. Yeah, you probably should have done that a lot earlier. Like when they started abducting people. And if they're now just making it illegal to be an Equalist, what were they arresting everyone else on? I mean, they've been like hauling off all these Equalists that no one's questioning because they're clearly, bad guys. They're wearing Equalist uniforms. They're getting caught doing Equalist rallies and shit. And they're just, what were they holding them on? Seriously. And then, of course, the last part is they put a curfew for all the non-benders. So you can't be out past a certain time. Which is, again, making it a rather... Okay, clearly a little Nazi statish right there. Actually, I'm not even sure if the Nazis had curfews. I'm sure they probably did. But, clearly we see this kind of totalitarian move. They actually really are now directly oppressing the non-benders. To the point now where they go out and they're turning off power to parts of the cities, obviously because the Equalists... I mean, this is implied, but obviously the Equalists are using electricity to use against benders. So I'm guessing they're turning off electricity to areas that there's strong Equalist support, so they can't use power against them. And of course, this just makes people come out and want to protest against the government because they're turning off their power. In which case, Tarlok just goes, well, they're all Equalist supporters. We throw them all in jail. So he's getting rather very dictatorial. You kind of see if unchecked, where he's going with this. Where you kind of see that kind of Hitler vibe. Or is he really playing into Amon's? Does Amon you kind of are wondering, is Amon realizing what Tarlok's going to do as he pushes him? And he's been planning on this, so when he launches the revolution, he truly will have widespread support. It could go either way. We have like kind of the classic fascists, communists, which is of course really the tale of the 1920s. There was a lot of violent struggle between these two forces. Sometimes the fascist one, sometimes the communist one. You have Spain, you have Russia. Although Spain was more the 30s. So you could see it going either way. Where the tactics might work, but the tactics might work, but you lose democracy. Or all these tactics play to the hands of the revolutionaries, and you get pretty much the same government with just different painting and logos. As for actually, On an animation side, I must say the anime is strong in this one. You see really a lot in the reactions of the characters, kind of these little character moments that you normally see in Japanese or Korean anime. And yes, you might as well call it Korean anime. There's so much that's farmed out to Korean animators. There was this wonderful little moment where one of Tenzin's daughters let it slip that Korra likes Mako. So of course she goes into this little anime like moment. The animation styles, and then later the animation style kind of changes to this kind of reaction shot is very common to see in anime. So you're seeing some really strong anime influences there. And then of course, a little while after that, she kind of closes the door after showing Asami her room. She kind of closes the door on Tenzin's daughter. That just let that slip, and her reaction is her eyes go white. She gets this little demon face going. Again, in that anime style where they will change kind of the art style to show this kind of emotion. So it's very strong, and I think, and I'll probably get to this when I do the series finale, or not the series, but the season finale review. And that this really is kind of making it tougher. I mean, the last one people debated, is this Western anime? This one's making it even tougher to argue, or at least making an even stronger case that this is Western anime. It's harder to debate this one. This one's so much more in line with what you'd think anime. Where if you were probably showing this to, we'll put this, let's say there's probably a version of this that's going out to Thailand, and it's being dubbed by local Thais. I'm sure then, since it's dubbed and you can't really tell, it's hard to I guarantee you they have a hard time. And if you don't tell them, I guarantee you a lot of people probably assume that this is Japanese. I don't know. Some of you tell me, if I know I have international viewers, if you're seeing this in overseas and you're not seeing the original American voice actors, is it really hard to, would you just assume this was not American but Japanese? You guys tell me. Some other things to hit on with this episode. Again, we had some nice little character moments with Tenzin. He's always so reserved, but I love those little moments where he gets angry, and we see that with the chief. I really love that about that character. He's always so reserved, but he has those classic moments where he's just going to kind of have that reserve break, like, yes, you are the worst. It's a really nice touch they do to that character without making him too straight. And they do it enough that it really is part of his character. It's not just this really random, oh my god, he actually broke character for a moment, or he really changed for a moment. No, it really is an element of his character where he has a lot of these moments where he does kind of have that restrained break. And it's also nice to see that they continue to build on this love triangle issue, and how are they going to resolve it. It's obviously showing that the writers have really putting a lot more complicated elements into this story, which is only making me more excited for, again, the next season, because they kind of really have seen that they have a green light to do whatever they want. As I said, they've said in interviews that they were really surprised that Nickelodeon greenlit the stuff they did, probably because it was Nickelodeon's highest show was the original Avatar. And from all indications, this now is Nickelodeon's highest rated show. So these writers now, Nickelodeon's is they have a blank check. They can do whatever the hell they want. And I have a feeling they're going to try to push the envelope even further next season. But I'll hold off for speculation on that until the season finale, which, by the way, I did get that wrong in the last review. It's 2 weeks, not 1 week. I must have misheard the advertisement that came on up after the episode. So, my mistake, fixing it now. All done. Not much to review or to speculate for next episode because I've already seen it, and at this point it'd be kind of pointless for me to do it because I'm doing it with 20/20 hindsight. So, I guess then that normally I love to do a quick little speculation for the next episode, but I can't really do that, and I've already done the speculation for a bit for the follow-up. I guess now because I now realize we're not going straight into the end season finale, episode 10's probably just going to be the setup for it. The only thing I can really say about episode 10 is its title is Turning the Tides. That could have a lot of things. That could be trying to push back against the Equalists, or it could be perhaps something more related to Korra's airbending training, because they did touch on this, that she still hasn't learned it. It would be nice if we saw her do a little bit more of the airbending training. So I'm not sure if Turning the Tides is going to have more to do with the political struggle that's going on, or with Korra's inner struggle with her trying to learn airbending. It could go either way. I would not be surprised if they use some sort of Tide reference to help her learn how to do airbending or something. Speaking of names, we do know that also episode 11 is entitled Skeletons in the Closet. That's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, we're going to have something revealed. They're still holding something back. So whether that is Amon having something revealed about Amon, having something else revealed perhaps within Team Avatar, it's hard to think. Yeah, it's hard to think what characters they're going to pull out with that. Obviously, it's going to be something that brings tension. And Endgame is, well, going to be the Endgame, at least for this first part. But yeah, stay tuned. Keep on watching for additional movie reviews, television series reviews, and game reviews. Hey, I got a Call of Duty, very, very long Call of Duty rant up. So I still do games occasionally. So please keep on watching, and please subscribe. Signing off.